How we doing, guys? Sam and Alex here with your weekly fish report. Alex, there's a lot of stuff going on there. We're in that full swing for the fall transition. So starting out with rockfish, fall time, rockfish, everybody likes to troll. Everywhere. They are everywhere as well, but everybody seems to like to troll for them. So tandem rigs, those are stuff you're going to want to start pulling out of the box coming up here in the next week or so. A tip that I have for you is I kind of like to lean towards the heavier tandems because you can always just let them further back if you need them to get really deep. Unlike some of the lighter ones, we got to let it so far back there. With this one, you can either keep it close to the boat if you want to run them up shallow, or you can let them back far enough for you. But a classic. You can't forget about the surgical tubes. These are probably as many rockfish caught on this as anything else. Super basic, whether you want to fish these behind like an inline weight, or you can even use the inline planers. Some folks are starting to do that for you. These are going to work too, not only for rockfish, but if you step up the size, definitely for cobia, redfish, things like that in the southern portions.
Oh yeah. Besides that, the drone spoons on the bigger sizes. Heard from a couple chart guys have been doing pretty good with those with number 1 and number 2 planers. Anywhere, around Luff Point, mouth of the Patapsco, all the way down to the bridge. Pretty productive fishing. A lot of smaller fish, but some good ones mixed in there in the upper 20s. Topwater. That's been doing good.
It has. It's finally starting to pick up. We're in that full swing. I know some of the evenings have been great. So you got a few lures picked out. Why are you choosing these ones?
Just your typical, kind of like your spread that you want to carry with you. Of course, colors might change here and there. Popper, more for your, choppy conditions, something that makes more noise. Spook for your, more quiet conditions, kind of flat days when the fish are a little more finicky. And just a follow-up bait or something that dives down to, 3, 4, 5 foot of water with a jerk bait will be kind of fine to, work those points.
The best part about the jerkbait too is a lot of times those fish just don't want to commit to topwater, but they're still going to be in those same areas. And a jerkbait is a bait you can throw in those same areas when they don't want to commit. So it's another option that you definitely want to have with you. But another option to have in those same places are paddle tails. Whether you fishing for them up here in the river systems for the rockfish, or you're down in the southern parts of the bay fishing the islands, speckled trout, all sorts of stuff like that. It's hard to beat a paddle tail, but that's another one of those lures you can throw in those same areas where you want to topwater fish.
And if you're doing this, if you're in those this local area, Severn River, fishing around Round Bay, that general area, Patapsco, Key Bridge area, all the way into the inner harbor, typical, topwater, kind of a lot of structure in that area. Always work inside the Chester, past the Kitten Arrows, Eastern Bay. You can name every little point there, and it's going to hold fish this time of the year. So a couple of those areas there, and of course your classic Thomas Point, Big Bridge Pilings, and also Poplar Island holds a lot of fish.
Absolutely. So other than that, though, jigging is still something you can do. Jigging is a lot of fun, especially in the fall months when those fish really start to school up thick. Places to look at are the mouths of those rivers during your tide transitions, when you have the incoming going to the outgoing, things like that. Those are the areas you're going to want to be towards the mouths of the rivers.
Right, and then besides that, there's still some redfish around, not in this general area, but moving towards the middle, southern bay area, anywhere from the mouth of the Choptank to the Patuxent. Just gotta search. They're not, obviously they move around. Gotta be in the same area, the whole time. So still some cobia around, southern area, into Virginia waters. It's been pretty productive, trolling, sight fishing, or even chunking. Most people are just sight fishing and trolling, so that's pretty productive. If you make your way down south. Other than that, your inshore stuff like speckled trout, redfish will pick up even more now that it's getting colder in the mornings, and even some little flounder. But other than that, if you're around this area and you're kind of shore fishing, Kitten Arrows, can't beat it. Tide changes, there'll be fish anywhere around there. Sandy Point, just your typical kind of chunking, sitting on a chunk,
Absolutely. It's hard to beat sitting on a chunk sometimes. So pushing down towards the beach, though, I know you got down there a little bit, especially last week. So what did they see down that way?
Route 50 Bridge was pretty phenomenal. It seems like it's an evening bite there. Lots of bait, a lot of small peanut bunker all over the place there. When you first, get there, start of the tide, there's always going to be bait around. Sometimes you just got to wait because those fish will eventually find them. So you kind of want to sit there throughout the tide change. The inlet was pretty good, and then surf fishing wise, they're catching a few leftover sharks, skates, and lots of kingfish. I even saw a couple pompano being caught off Chesapeake.
I saw redfish there
Yeah.
this week too. So there are a few of those. I think.
And that's going to start up here in the next few weeks, late September until October. That's the main time you want to go hit Chesapeake for those big bull reds.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the last thing to touch on would be cradding. We don't hear a ton of reports about it.
Right.
That being said, it's that time of the year though. The water temperatures are right, whether you're in the Magothy, Severn, South, moving all the way down or on the other side of the bay.
Heavy
Crabbing should
crabs.
be good. Exactly. Nice
Yeah.
fall heavy crabs. So we thank you guys for stopping by, and have a good one out there and good luck.
Gotta go.